Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas, happy holidays, everybody, and welcome to Ocean's Pit, a little show about big things. I hope you guys are having a great day today. It is warmer out than it was yesterday, even though they say it's cold and wintry, but I love this weather. As you guys all know, I am a winter guy, and the more snow, the more cold, the better. I'd rather have the couple months of cold than hot and humid and miserable like you're in Florida or Arizona, right? So anyway, you're watching Ocean Spit, a little show about big things, Monday to Friday, everybody. Now we are. Make sure that you check out the website there, TonyOceanMusic.com. And folks, give us a call just to talk or to find out what we're doing and what we're up to, folks. 847-769-8609. Joan Aska, Kathy Appolito, Becky, how you doing? Patrick, Peter, how you guys all doing? Welcome. Now we are brought to you by Eco Solar Solutions, where you always save more energy. And when you save more energy, you save more money. Call Caesar at 630-345-2964. Tell them Tony O sent you. Also, folks, don't forget Tri-Co Hair Experts. All you guys out there with the comb overs and the hats and the sprays, it's done. I've done it. It's too late. It's not too late, folks. Tri-Co Hair Experts, right out of Rosemont, Illinois. Carmela, and Anthony will take care of you. Give them a call at 773-999-7888, folks. That's right. So now it's time to start the show.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ocean's Pit, the little show about big things. And now, your host, Mr. Tony Ocean.
That applause seems to get longer. I don't know why that is. Anyway, folks, it is Wednesday, December 8th, and I hope you're all doing great. Every show is dedicated to the first responders, of course, the doctors, the nurses, the firemen, the policemen, the farmers, the teachers, but mostly it's dedicated to you to keep watching the show and make it successful. And we're getting there, folks. We're getting there slowly but surely. We're trying to make sure that everybody enjoys the show. Now, you can also see us live on Twitter. Right there, folks, is a Twitter sign. Now you can catch us on Twitter and Facebook Live. And, folks, also get us on YouTube right there, folks. Now we're looking for 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're close. By January or mid-January, by the end of January, we're looking for 1,000. So please go to our YouTube page and subscribe to Ocean's Pit. So we got a great show lined up for you guys today. Before that, Don Esteban Cigars. Home hand roll delivered right to your home because of the holiday, man. It's a great gift giving, and we want to make sure that you get a chance if your husband or wife or boyfriend or girlfriend or anybody who smokes cigars. My sister smokes cigars, believe it or not. I mean, the small little ones, but she don't smoke them. So give my good buddy Javier a call at 727-366-7536. Perfect stocking stuffers, folks, as is. Let's get one more commercial here for you, folks. That's right. Airtight Windows, Siding and Specialist, family owned for 30 years for honesty and quality. You're doing it right with Airtight Windows. Give my buddy Lou a call at 708-788-5000. Everybody needs new windows, folks. It's getting cold. He's going to give you a great price because that's what it's about. He's a local mom and pop guy in the business for 30 years. Airtight. All right, everybody. We got an incredible show lined up for you guys today. And if you've been following me for many, many years, the Rat Pack, Sinatra, cool. Cheap Trick, all cool. Raspberries, Bay City Rolls. You know, my power pop, British Invasion are my favorite bands. Sweet, Slade. That's what I listen to, and I still do every day. Of course, we all know that I'm the big John Lennon fan. And who isn't? But I know some people that don't like the Beatles, believe it or not. I find it kind of difficult, odd. But, 40 years ago today, December 8th, 1980, ladies and gentlemen, John Winston Ono Lennon was shot down by a fan in front of his Dakota Apartments in New York. It was a tragedy. From the information I got over here, folks, over 30,000 people mourned in Liverpool that night when they all got back around for the memorial. 30,000 showed up in Liverpool in front of John Lennon's old house, and over 225,000 people showed up in Central Park for the candle lighting. One of the biggest, most drawn ever in Central Park. That's pretty for John Lennon, showing the respect and what he did for the music business. And what I did was, and through the years, I have friends who love Beatles. So I'm trying to get them. I've got 3 different guests on, 4 actually. One and we're gonna get them all on at one time here, and we're gonna talk about Beatles and mostly John Lennon. But before we get into that, folks, just want to make sure that you guys find out. Now, tonight, Wednesday, December 8th, we were going to be at Donnie G's Oceans Rat Pack show. Bill Saratella and Elliot Winbush and yours truly, along with Jerry Jams, is going to be a lot of fun tonight. I think it's a full house, according to what Jerry said, but we still have some seats in the bar. Now, if you're sitting in the show lounge, those seats are done, but there's seats in the bar. They're going to have a video screen so you can actually see the show there. I think it starts at $24.99, chicken, steak, whatever it is. They put out a package there. Tomorrow we'll be making our debut at Positano's, a brand new place in Oak Brook. Terrace, probably one of the new hot spots in Oak Brook, along with Ryan O'Ryan. Friday will be at Chicago Prime Steakhouse with Ryan O'Ryan, 8 o'clock. Saturday, we're returning to Norton's in Highland Park. That's right. One of my favorite places, and that's going to be my good buddy Ryan O'Ryan. Now, that's Saturday. Sunday, we're going to be celebrating Frank Sinatra's 106th birthday party at the Arcada Theater. We'll be in the theater Sunday on the 12th, celebrating Frank Sinatra. Ron Onesi's been doing it every year since he was 99, since Frank turned 99. Now he'll be 106 this year. It's a little smaller production. We have a 10-piece band along with, that's Nick Pondarelli's band, of course, with Bill Pantley, Jack D'Amico, and yours truly, doing a special tribute to Frank Sinatra turning 106 years old on the 12th of December. Other things, folks, I want to thank Elliot Thorpe, my good friend who put out the brand new Dean Martin book. Now, Elliot Thorpe and Bernard Thorpe, ladies and gentlemen, were presidents of the Dean Martin Association fan club out of England. Great guy. We're going to have Elliot on the show actually on the 22nd of December. But he interviewed me, and I didn't think anything of it. We did an interview, and I thought it was going to be a little blog. But if you go to page 48, I'm sorry, it's a whole 2 pages on yours truly right there in the book. So if you're interested, pick up a copy of For the Good Times by Elliot Thorpe. If you're a big Dean Martin fan, he was friends with Dean Martin. He's friends with the family. This is actually authorized by the Dean Martin family. For the Good Times, Dean Martin. It's a great book. Great to have him on. All right, folks, a couple other things. We're going to talk, a couple dates that we're going to plug to you before we bring up our guests because we are very excited. On the 15th, we'll be at Tavern on the Point, brand new place with Ryan O'Ryan and Regina Karma. That's the 15th of December. The 16th will be at Capri in Willow Springs with Lisa P., another great singer, of course, and Ryan O'Ryan, of course. The 18th, returning to Taverna with Ryan and Tony Toto. 29th, my birthday party bash at Bellagio. You're all invited with the Main Event Band. It's going to be Wednesday, the 29th of December. I'll be turning 59 years old. The 30th of December, we're making our debut at Cucina, Zaza's Cucina in Park Ridge. First time we'll be there on the 30th. And January 1st, we'll be at Docks in Wakanda that's Saturday, January 1st, with Jeff Dubray. And then New Year's Eve, of course, we're at Avanti Banquets in Fox River Grove. 3rd year in a row there, right? Crystal Lake area. Main event. It's going to be a great time for New Year's Eve, owned by the Chicago Prime family. And our Florida tour starts March 11th, 2022. We're starting off at the Windy City Boys Tour. Me and my good buddy Greg Reaney. Windy City Boys Tour starts March 11th, 2022 at the Venice Community Center. Then we go the 12th and 13th to Joey D's in Marco Island. And we got 6 or 7 more dates to be announced in the next week or two. But this will be March 11th, first day at the Venice Community Center. Windy City Boys Tour starts in Florida. So we're excited about that. All right, folks. Let's try to bring on some of these guests, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if I can find them. I think they're all here. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, we're going to bring up one of the great musicians, piano player for his own act. He does his own Nick the Piano Man act solo. He's also in the Chicago Hitmen. He also runs the Billy Joel, Elton John tribute band. He's also the keyboard player in our band, the Dream Police. And he's also one of my best friends, and he's the best. Mr. Nick Sahajas will be joining us. Let's see. Let's get Nick. There's Nick. How you doing, pal?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
You're looking good, my brother. So Nick is on there, folks. All right, next we're going to go down to somebody else here. Let's see if we can get everybody on. I got everybody on so far, I see. Next is a husband and wife couple. Been in bands, cover story for a long time, playing what they do. Doug's a drummer. Lulu's a great singer, and they go out and do some great stuff. And they're both Beatle fans. So let's get them on as well. Let's see. There they are. Okay.
Hey, Nick.
Doug and Lulu. What's up? This is good. And last but not least, folks, you cannot forget my good buddy Albert from the Arcada Theater. Of course, he works one of the guys up there that bring people to your seats and stuff. But, there you go. One of the ushers. He's one of those guys. But besides that, he's a great friend, and he loves Beatles, and he loves music. So let me see if we can get Albert here.
Oh, I see myself.
There he is. All right, we are all on. Now, this is the first time I've got 4 or 5 people on.
Hi, guys. How are you?
And nothing got.
Hey, Albert.
Hey, what's up? How are you all?
Look at this. Who needs to leave the house when you got shit like this?
Hey, it worked.
Perfect.
Yes. All right. So, December 8th, 1980, we lost the great John Lennon. And crazy, a fan, Mark David Chapman. You know what's so weird? A fan of John Lennon approached John Lennon 2 times. I think he signed a record. He signed whatever it was. I mean, and then it's so mind-boggling to me that someone would try to do this to John Lennon, of course, and what he's done for music. So I'm just going to go right on the clock. Start off with Nick. Nick, where were you when you found out that John Lennon has been shot at?
Phyllis and I just started dating, and I think we were at the garlic press, and I got the news, and it was devastating. It definitely was. But I remember exactly where I was. We were on a date.
How about you, Doug and Lulu? Where were you guys at?
I remember I was returning home from band rehearsal, and I was on the expressway. I remember somewhere. Do you remember if it's still there, the Marriott by Cumberland and the Kennedy? I remember that area right there. That's when I heard it on the radio, and then I couldn't believe it. So I got home and I saw the replays on Monday Night Football, and I guess Howard Cosell stopped the show. And
Doug, I don't know if you knew this, Howard Cosell was having second thoughts about announcing it on live television like that during a football game. And I guess after a couple of minutes or whatever it was of discussions with his bosses and people in charge said, no, this must be said, and it was a perfect time to say it. And I think Howard Cosell did a good job with that.
Yes, that was.
How about you, Lulu?
I was at home. I was watching the 10 o'clock news, and it came on, and I cried. I really did. I just cried. I thought it was horrible.
Yeah. I mean, I cried too. And I remember being in the next day. I graduated high school in 81. So I remember in 80 that my principal called me into the office the next day and told me that I was in black, and he told me I could go home for the day because he knew I had John Lennon T-shirts on all the time. Mm-hmm. It was just horrible. It was just very killing. I was just devastated. Albert, what about you, buddy? Where were you at?
I took a ride somewhere, and then I ended up at a 7-Eleven about almost 10 o'clock that night. And they had like a little clock radio sitting on the ice machine over there, and by Diversity and Long, and I heard the news then. I said, "Oh shit!" I was shocked when I heard it, It was devastating.
Yeah, it must
You
have
know.
been. It was devastating to the world, and I guess when you seen clips of Ringo being interviewed afterwards, he looked completely like shocked. This
Yeah.
Ringo, of course, after the years, and then you look at Paul, which I've never been a Paul McCartney fan. He looked like that's just my opinion. But yeah, it is. He would obviously later on, he tries to say that him and John, obviously they were close. They were, like brothers. But what John Lennon did for the music business and the Beatles, and what he did for peace. Do you imagine, guys, if John Lennon? What do you think, Nick? Let's start with you, Nick. What would you think if John Lennon was alive today? What do you think he'd be saying about the way the world is, and what kind of music do you think he'd be making?
First of all, I think he'd be all over social media. I think that's right up his alley. Facebook, Twitter, everything. I think he'd be all over that stuff. Probably I bet at some point he'd go into some retro music. Like when they did old rock and roll album. I think he'd return to his roots and do some good stuff like that.
Do some rock stuff, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lulu and Doug, if John Lennon didn't pass away, would he have been involved with the Anthology project with Paul, George, and Ringo, you think?
Yes,
I would think so. Yeah. I always thought, especially after watching this, I just wish they would have maybe taken a year or two off, did some solo stuff, and maybe they would got the urge to come back. It's just it ended way too soon, of course.
Yeah. Albert, what about you? Do you think if Brian Epstein didn't die, the Beatles would still be together?
Today? No, I don't think they would have been. Because they were concentrating on their own projects at the time, even during the sessions with the Let It Be and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They were looking forward with their own projects, and they were, there was a little bit of frustration there. With George and stuff. So it wouldn't. I don't think they would ever stay together past the time when they actually broke up.
Well, I noticed, guys, that
they were real testy.
Yeah, me and Nick were talking about this too. I believe that, I believe that maybe, and see what you guys think of this. If Paul McCartney didn't bring in his father-in-law, say it was a different businessman, not his father-in-law, because it seemed like George, Ringo, and Paul, George, Ringo, and John didn't like the fact that Paul brought his father-in-law in. Now, a respectable man that he was, Mr. Eastman, if he came in with another businessman, maybe that friction wouldn't have been there. What do you guys think?
Alan Klein was a slime ball.
Slime ball,
Yeah.
yes,
Correct.
yes.
He, like if you ever look at the Rolling Stones catalog until 1970,
Yeah.
they don't own their catalog from the 64 to 70, right, or 69, whatever it was.
So, but
And then they
Klein
went into their own label.
Yeah.
And who else? Herman's Hermit's the same thing. But the funny thing about it, because none of these guys own their own music, their own recordings, because Alan Klein, he possessed all that stuff.
Yeah.
But you never hear a complaint from Peter Noon or anybody. You know what I mean? You never hear a bad word about. But if you Google Alan Klein, he was he was considered a slime ball in the management business.
Well, I know he also helped the Stones in some legal battle, but then whatever happened.
But
remember,
financially,
you're mentioning Peter Noon and stuff like that. He didn't write the music, so I don't know if he even owns rights.
But the recordings, they didn't own their own recordings.
Yeah.
Because it's on EBCO. That's Alan Klein's label. His son runs it now.
It makes complete sense. Let me go to Lulu on this. Lulu, everybody's blaming at that particular time Yoko Ono. People thought that she was the reason why the Beatles broke up, one of the reasons. I believe that John was the happiest he was. Maybe she was a little aggravating. But what is your take on all that after watching Get Back or just following the careers? What was your take on all that?
I in the beginning, I blamed her, because I was younger and I was going along with whatever was being said. But when I watched that Get Back, I could see that, yeah, you're right. He was really happy. He was in love. He needed her because she stabilized him. And, she just, she loved him. She loved him, and that's what he needed. And
He loved her, yeah.
yeah, I think they were all going to go their separate ways eventually. So it wasn't her. It wasn't her. It was a lot of things.
Yeah. You know, how about you, Nick? Let's think about it. You probably would have been. I could see them going like Fleetwood Mac did, like the Eagles did, separated, made solo records, and came back around. Did you ever think that maybe that was even in their mind, or you think they just wanted away from each other?
No, I think it was absolutely in their mind. I think that they probably could have drifted, done their own thing, especially George. He had so much of a catalog he wanted to release.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they would have gotten together either as a band or, a couple guys here and there. They all played together after John died. I mean, they've all played on each other's records.
Well, it's funny because they all contributed. They all contributed to Ringo once they broke up.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, some of their best songs. George gave him a photograph.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an incredible song by Ringo.
Mm-hmm.
George wrote that. It's amazing. Here's a quote that John Lennon said: "Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end."
Yeah.
What a genius that he was.
That's
And it's truly missed. Will you guys? Let's go to Doug on this. Do you have being a Beatle fan? Did you have? Were you fans of the early Beatles or late Beatles?
Since day one, since I saw him in Ed Sullivan, that did it for me. My dad played drums, so we had a drum set, and I knew I could play a little bit. So I said, "Well, this is what it was meant for." Then Ringo did it for me. I started playing. I saw the Beatles. I was lucky enough to see the Beatles in 1966. My mom somehow got tickets for the amphitheater, and it was the best thing best concert, best day of my life. And early and later. I loved all the stuff. I loved the early stuff probably more than if I had to pick, but I loved all the stuff.
You loved all the stuff. Nick, as a songwriter that you are, and some of those great songs as a songwriter, what do you see as a John Lennon being influence in your life about John Lennon's songs that he wrote? Not necessarily with the Beatles so much, but with his solo stuff.
The one thing about the Beatles is not being formally trained. They did some really interesting stuff that you wouldn't normally do if you had some kind of theory background. You go, well, it's not supposed to do that. But they did a lot of things outside the box, a lot of thinking, and that's what made their stuff so incredible. Some of the changes, some of the bridges, where they went with them. It was just, and he kept that style all through. It was different.
I agree. Let's go to Albert on this one. Albert,
Yes.
The Stones and the Beatles came out a couple years apart. They did what they did. The Stones actually went to America first, but that tour was not successful until the Beatles came and covered America, and then the Stones went back. They stated the Stones and the Beatles were so different, but actually they were they were very friendly to each other, and they were almost exactly the same. I mean, Andrew Loog Oldham took the Stones and made them all messy and dirty, and who would want to go out with a Rolling Stone? And Brian Epstein did the Beatles, dressed them all up. But basically, they were pretty good friends and basically the same type of guys, did same type of music, kind of,
They were.
Yes.
And then through musical history, you'll recognize them. They were friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, George is the one who talked Decca into signing the Stones.
Right.
And they were denied.
Yeah,
The
why do
Beatles
you
were
think,
denied by Bert Kaempfert.
Yeah, they were. Why do you think that George Harrison didn't get to use a lot more of his music with the Beatles during their career together?
The dynamic he was stuck in. When you're sitting there with Lennon and McCartney, it's kind of tough to get your stuff in there. He was like the little brother. He was younger than them. He wasn't writing at the beginning. So if you don't get your foot in the door at the beginning, you're kind of left behind. I think that.
Or maybe his material wasn't up to their liking or something. Wasn't good enough yet.
Well,
he was still working at it.
I like a lot of their solos. I like a lot of his stuff he did with the Beatles, including "Don't Bother Me," one of the first songs he did off the.
Oh, yeah. Love that.
He wrote that in a hotel.
Yeah,
good stuff and help.
it's just sad. I'm trying to figure out something here. Remember back when he kind of didn't want to do music anymore, and in 1974, Elton John was trying to get him to come back and do a live. He hasn't performed, so he performs live at the Madison Square Garden.
Yep.
And he only did that because Elton John, if I'm correct, if the story is true, he was going to do Whatever Gets You Through the Night. And he said that if it goes number one, John, you have to come and play live on Madison
Correct.
Square Garden.
Yeah.
And it went live. And it
And he
went
did
number
it.
one. And John Lennon walks out on stage, and Madison Square Garden went crazy. I mean, wow. And it's a great song, I thought.
They did 3 songs. They did 3 songs at that show.
And that's where he and Yoko were united at that concert because they've been separated.
And I think me and Nick, we talked about this. You guys, did you see the movie? I forgot. Two of Us. The movie's called Two of Us, and me and Nick were talking about this. It's a story supposedly that Paul McCartney would drop in on John Lennon back in the 70s, his apartment in New York, and supposedly one day he showed up, knocked on the door, and they spend the afternoon together. Smoking pot, going to the park, dressing up with costumes, supposedly, so nobody recognized him in Central Park. Do you think that actually went down?
That was.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't know. I mean, it was a fictional story.
Do you think Paul actually visited him and spent time together?
Right.
I don't know if he did it by himself. He probably dropped in with Linda.
Well, they said also that the Saturday Night Live made him an offer or whatever it was to.
They were together that night.
Yeah.
They were together on that night. Yep.
Yoko did not give John Lennon a funeral. He says, please pray for the human race and please pray for John as well. John Lennon kind of quit. John Lennon kind of quit the music business to take care of Sean at the time. And I don't know if he wasn't very close with Julian, I guess. It seems like they got closer towards the end of his life. Did you hear anything about stuff like that?
I've heard things, that as they got older, they got a little more in common. When Julian started getting into music, he started playing. So they became closer at that point. I also heard that during his 5-year hiatus, he was a huge Beatle fan, and he was out there buying a lot of souvenirs and stuff that was on sale. He was spending a lot of money on Beatle paraphernalia, like buying his own stuff.
I did not know that. Yeah. I did not know that.
I didn't know that. That's good.
That's pretty kind of cool. I was wondering, I mean, do you know if Julian and Sean ever recorded together?
Not that I know of. I mean, they were friends. They hung out a lot, but I don't know if they ever recorded anything.
Right, yeah.
I don't know if they ever recorded together. All right, so they made a list. Rolling Stone Records gave us a list of the top 10 John Lennon songs, and these are basically solo songs. This is according to Rolling Stone Records. Tell me what you think. I think we lost Albert here. So in the meantime, let's go on with the show here. Number 10, Merry Christmas, Xmas, Christmas is Over, was number 10. I think one of the greatest Christmas songs ever, right? Everybody knows it. Everybody's covered it. I bet you everybody does it live in their concerts around Christmas time, right? That was number 10. Well, A Woman was number 9 off the Double Fantasy record. And before I get to anything, guys, what did you think of the Double Fantasy album? Let's start with you, Doug, when he came back out of retirement.
I have it. I think I had to get used to it. I love it. I mean, it's because it's John, but I had no problem with it. To me, it's John. It's and the way Yoko was. That's how it was back then.
Sure, and he came back. And Lulu, do you think that? And Nick too, whoever wants to come in on this, do you think if John Lennon didn't pass away, that record would have been number 1 without him passing away?
I think so. I think
so. Lulu says yes. Nick says no. Let's start off with Lulu. Why do you think? Because you thought it was that great of an album. I mean, I love Starting Over. I thought it was great.
I think because there were so many Beatle fans that they just loved the fact that there was a Beatle that had an album out. You know, I think that's why he was still popular even by himself.
Yeah, he has not recorded a record in a long time. Nick, what's your thought on it?
I mean, I agree with the fact that, not having John Lennon in the music business for 5 years and all of a sudden he comes out with an album, that would probably create a stir. But obviously, because of his death, I think he got a lot more recognition than it would have. I remember myself, when I listened to it, I thought this is the best produced album he ever had. Because a lot of his stuff, it almost sounded like it was done in a basement.
Right, right.
Oh, here I am.
That was phenomenal. It just sounded really, really clean.
Yeah. So we got Albert back. Okay. So
Yeah,
number
how you
10
doing,
was-
guys?
Okay, it's all right. Merry Christmas. Christmas War is over. Number 10. Woman. Albert, you just missed us. We're top 10 songs according to Rolling Stone records of John Lennon's solo career. Merry Christmas, Xmas, War is over. Number 10. Woman, number 9. Whatever gets you through the night with Elton John. Number 8. Number 9. Great song back in that was number 7. Instant Karma, number 6. Number 5, Working Class Hero.
Great
Number
song.
4,
Love that.
Mind Games. Mind Games and Mind Games. Number 4, I thought one of the great solo records. Number 3, my favorite, favorite John Lennon song, Jealous Guy. What a great song that is.
Phenomenal.
Obviously talking about himself, obviously, because he was very jealous with Yoko. Number 2, Give Peace a Chance. Not only a great song, but just the message alone that he sent out. And number 1, of course, a song that even me and Nick covered a few years back, Imagine.
Yeah.
It's just any other songs that we might have left out that you liked? Any solo John Lennon songs that you like?
You covered a lot of the
Across
ones
the
I like.
Universe.
That's for damn sure.
What happened?
Yeah, but that was a Beatles song. That was a Let It Be.
Yeah. Well, then he did.
I like a lot of Cold Turkey. I like that.
And
I like
The
it.
Woman's a great song.
What happened, Albert? What'd you say?
Woman's a great song too.
Yeah, Woman was
That was
a great
on number
song.
9.
Obviously, about his lovely wife, of course, Yoko.
I kind of like Cleanup Time off of that album too.
What
And
happened?
I like the song Cleanup Time.
Oh,
off of
yeah,
his
Cleanup
album.
Time was
I
good,
like
too.
the version with Cheap Trick better because it's
Oh yeah. Well, Cheap Trick also did a good version of Cold Turkey too.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
did a good job of. What did you think of the song "How Do You Sleep," which he kind of rips Paul?
That was a great rivalry
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
He kind of rips Paul in that.
Yeah, that was a little childish, but it was.
You're watching Ocean's Pit, the little show about big things, folks. We got our good friends Doug and Lulu, Albert, and Nick talking about John Lennon, of course, 40 years ago today on the 8th of December, 1980. Time for a quick sponsor, folks. Let's not forget, folks, now that it's time for gift giving, and everybody likes to give gifts. What do you give somebody who's got everything? StateSyndicate.com. Hey, I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. And it's true. Steak Syndicate got quality. Think about this, folks. Pork chops, steaks, chicken, burgers, fish, all sent right to your house. The same burgers and the same meat that you get at your famous restaurants. John Seriani put SteakSyndicate.com and you can join and become a member. It's very simple. Go to SteakSyndicate.com, promo code Tony Ocean, get 25% off the membership fee and 1 free tomahawk steak. 1 free. That's worth the admission alone of the membership. The 1 free. So go to SteakSyndicate.com and join the Corleone Club. Fantastic. Get those great meats, great gift giving. All right, Ocean's Pit, the little show about big things with some great entertainers here from the Chicagoland area, talking, of course, about John Lennon. The question is always, if they were all still alive today, let's start with Nick. Would they have all got back together? Nick.
I think so. I think, like I said before, John Lennon was a huge Beatle fan. He loved the Beatles, regardless of what he was going through at the time. I think they would have come back together. Cooler heads would have prevailed, and I think they would have gotten together and recorded. Now, would it have been a letdown? Real possible. But I still think as friends, they would have wanted to play together.
What about you, Doug and Lulu? Would the Beatles be back together if they were all still alive right now?
I agree with Nick. how could they not? I'm, of course, that's what I hope too. But I think they would have somehow. They would have.
Yeah,
done
even if it was
something,
just for
yeah.
one show, one huge show, I think they would have done it. They loved playing together. That last episode when they were on the roof, they were so happy they were finally playing together. Our
Yeah,
dog is
yeah.
going crazy here.
Yeah, absolutely. Albert, do you think they'd be together if they were all still alive?
I think with a little persuasion, they would have come together a little bit, just to
Yeah.
grab some more money. You know, that's all. Even if it's for the money, they would have done it.
I don't know if the money is such a big thing with them. I think they were all pretty well off. I think that they, I don't know. I think when Lulu's got a great idea, I don't think they would have toured, but I think a good one pay-per-view event, you know what I mean, live somewhere and do a concert. I think that would be great. And maybe have some of the, because remember, they didn't play any of that Sgt. Pepper stuff live, right? Never any of that stuff because they broke up by then.
Paul's done it.
Paul's done it. Yeah.
Or Lucy in the Sky with John Lennon. Yeah, he's done it.
Yeah.
With Elton John.
With Elton John. Yeah, but I mean, as the Beatles together, right? They've never.
No, they've never done that together. No.
It would be kind of cool because I think they'd get a bunch of backup guys, you know, Jeff Lynne, get a bunch of guys and back up with all those keyboards and get all those different sounds and everything. I think it would have been actually very cool. But it's a sad note that we lost John Lennon. And I can't even think there's anybody that since John Lennon who's got that same power talking about the great music and great songs and great peace that he tried to bring to this world. I can't compare anybody else to him. And what do you think now of Paul McCartney's new record? Have you listened to it, anybody?
Yes.
Yeah. Which one?
Any good?
Or?
Albert, is it any good?
I got friends that love it, you know, from the Beatle Fest and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, they say, oh, whatever he makes, even if it's raw, I love it. I love Paul's stuff. But it's a matter of opinion, you know.
Yeah.
It
like,
was
like
kind of
like Ringo's solo stuff.
That album is kind of raw.
Yeah. Well, you know, guys, I know you guys busy doing what you're doing. I want to thank you all for being on the show. And I know that we all have the love and care for John Lennon, and it'll always be in our hearts, and his music will always be played. But I just want to say thank you guys for joining us. Nick Sahajas, of course, Nick, Lulu, and Doug Sylvester, and my good buddy Albert. I want you guys all to have a great day. Happy holidays. If I don't see you guys, I'm sure we'll bump into each other before the end of the year. But thank you guys for being on. And as John say, give peace a chance. God bless you guys very much.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
God bless you. Ladies and gentlemen, Ocean's Pit, the little show about big things. We got some great entertainers here. And you know what? A lot of good things to talk about. We still got some time here, folks. Let me tell you who's coming up, guests, folks, for the month of December. All right. This Monday, are you ready? December 13th, Ronnie Rice joins Ocean's Pit. That's Monday. That's right. New Colony 6 with Ronnie Rice. 14th, Tuesday, Greg Potter and the Buddy Rich Band. That's right. Greg Potter and Kathy Rich, Buddy's daughter, will be joining us on the 14th. Joe Garriano, a great bass player from the original Boys, and many more. Holland, all these other great bands. He'll be joining us. Stephanie Lemon, your friend there, of course, Nick, who plays with you, will be our guest on the 17th. My good buddy Steve from Frontline Cigars will be joining us on the 20th. Ken Voss, guy right behind, the man behind the Illinois Entertainer, and also part of the Illinois Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Elliot Thorpe, the author on the 22nd of the Dean Martin book For the Good Times. John Renke on the 27th, lead singer of Jay and the Americans, will be joining us on the 27th. John's a very dear friend of mine when he was way back, when he was with Johnny Starr and the Meteors. And keep your fingers crossed for my buddy on the 29th, Ron Onesti, making another appearance here on Ocean's Pit. So December's got a lot of good stuff to talk about. Now, boy, do I got some stuff here, folks. Listen to this. Chicago, and you guys, I love you guys staying on because I love you guys' opinion on this stuff. All right? Chicago public schools, there's a bunch of them, folks. Your kids got going to school. Co-ed bathrooms.
Oh,
Men,
wow.
girls, and boys in the same bathrooms. Chicago public schools. Nicholas, you got a baby girl? You don't, but if you did, she's going to school. She's going to the bathroom with a jerk off guy sitting right next to her.
No,
What is your
that
thoughts
won't.
on
That doesn't work.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. I'd take my kid out of school.
No.
Not gonna happen. It's
Lulu,
ridiculous.
Doug, what do you think?
No, no.
No.
Is that crazy or what? Chicago public schools. All right, let's go down. This is even better, folks.
That's crazy.
The state of Oregon is thinking of considering permanent mask wearing forever. The state of Oregon.
Not even a challenge.
Good luck on that one, folks. All right, let's keep going down the list here, folks. Sad stuff. According to People Magazine, a veteran. I'm just going to read you some headlines, and we're just going to go from there. According to People Magazine, former father who was a former veteran, actually also was in the Vietnam War, survived all that. 57 years old, survived cancer, and he fell down the stairs putting up Christmas lights of the ladder and died.
Oh, man.
Even the dog pissed off. Look at that. Horrible stuff to happen there, folks. How about this? Students found with 21 weapons in the school the day after they put in the metal detectors. This is in Virginia. Students found 21 weapons in the school after they put in the metal detectors. You know what, folks? What's going on with this world? I mean, these are stuff that you can't make this shit up, folks. Here you go. Any traveler, this is the best. Any traveler flying from South Africa will now need to fly to Mexico City, catch a bus on the Joe Biden bus, and cross the border and catch the Biden bus and go to any city of your choice. Come on in, folks. Come on in. Yeah, we're not political show, but hey, it is what it is, right? Another thing, did you see the interview on ABC with Alec Baldwin?
Yeah.
The whole interview almost seemed it was all about himself. Didn't look like he really cared about. What did you think? What was your Nick? Did you watch that at all, Nick? Did you see your take on that? How about Doug? Lulu, anything?
Yeah, we saw it.
What'd you think of that?
I think he felt bad. I think he was still kind of in shock of what happened. He's still saying he doesn't know why there was a live, why someone put bullets in it. But I thought it would. I didn't know why he was actually being interviewed. I mean, you're right. It isn't about him.
Yeah, it's not about him.
Right. And there's some people saying that there's no way that gun could have been fired unless somebody fired. So who knows? We're going to find out more information on that, folks. Here's one you guys will enjoy. According to a Law and Crime, this is Law and Crime is a social media outlet. A Florida landlord allegedly murdered his tenant after he caught him masturbating in his girlfriend's underwear.
Oh my God.
Now you can't make this shit up, folks. You can't make this shit up, right? I'm gonna skip right over that one. Just thought I had to throw that out there, folks.
Yeah.
Now here's one you're gonna love. This is actually in Austria, the country of Austria. A man was getting a vaccine shot, and he put a fake arm under his shirt.
That was me.
Under his shirt. This is according to Newsweek magazine. In this country of Austria, he put some fake and he got caught. I mean, look, we could talk about this forever.
It wasn't soft enough, huh?
Yeah, right. It's either you're going to get it or you're not. It's up to you. But come on, what a sneaky guy to try to put a fake arm. Oh my God! You got to give him credit, though. You got to give him a shot.
Yeah.
You got that.
We should have thought it. Yes.
And then you get some other crazy. Look at this, folks. This is according to Newsweek magazine. A guy from New Jersey, he got caught putting razor screws in pizza dough.
Oh my
He only
God.
got 5 years in prison. His name was Nicholas Mathis, 39 years old. Here's a guy that puts pizza screws. It's just like in pizza dough to try to hurt people. and he gets caught doing it. Now, I don't know if anybody died from it, but he gets 5 years in prison. 5 years, that's it?
Right.
There's a lot of crazy people in this world, folks, and I don't know. Every day that you're reading these interviews and stories, it just gets you crazy. Let's do, you know what we haven't done yet? Birthdays. That's right. Rick Willis, bass player. No, I'm sorry. The drummer for Def Leppard celebrates a birthday today. How about Sammy Davis Jr., 96 years old, if Sammy was still alive today. Randy Rhodes, guitar player from Ozzy Osbourne, one of the great guitar players who died way too early. Our good friend Barb Bailey celebrates a birthday, Nick. Great friend Barb Bailey celebrates. Southside Johnny and the Asbury Dukes. I love Southside Johnny out of New York. Out of Jersey, of course. Good friends with Bruce Springsteen. Jeff Bridges, great actor, celebrates a birthday. Let's see what we got here. Walt Disney. Now, who doesn't like Walt Disney? Mickey Mouse and all that. Donald Duck, Walt Disney celebrates a birthday. Jack Russell, guitar player, lead singer from the band Great White, celebrates a birthday. Former Chicago Bear Robbie Gold. Probably his real name was Goldstein, but he got rid of the gold. Robbie Gold. You like that one, Nick? I knew you would. Anyway, Robbie Gold, former kicker of the Chicago Bears, celebrates a birthday. Former Chicago Cub and former Philadelphia Philly Larry Boa celebrates a birthday. Otto Preminger, of course, he was better known as Mr. Freeze on the original Batman show, 1966, with Burt Ward and Adam West. Oh, one of my favorite shows. What else we got here? Former Chicago Cub Lee Smith celebrates a birthday. All right, what do we got? Also, Angus Moorhead. Remember her? Andorra from Bewitched celebrates the birthday. And last, what else we got here? I'm sorry. Harry Rogers Webb, better known as Sir Cliff Richard, celebrates a birthday today. He had some great songs. But here's one you're going to love. I know Albert will. Mike Smith's birthday today. The original singer of the Dave Clark Five. And boy, what a great voice he had. And everybody thought that Dave Clark sang, but he didn't. Dave Clark played the drums.
He was one of the lead singers, yeah.
He was one of the lead singers. All right, folks, what else we got here? We still have the guys on, Nick and Doug and Albert, and appreciate it, Lulu. All right, that's what we got here, folks. Jiffy Lube now is charging $67 for a regular standard oil change.
What a rip.
A lot of money.
Wasn't it like years ago when we were younger? It was like maybe 30 bucks, whatever it was, 27, $67.
Wow.
Yeah. And now they got a sign saying need financial help. The company's looking for help, so they're charging.
They need their doors closed.
To keep their doors closed. Yeah. Unbelievable, folks. All right.
They are
according to the New York Post, and if you've been following this craziness, can anyone believe one word that Jesse Sulmet said?
No.
Have you seen that, Nick? Have you been watching that? The actor who got somebody pretend to shoot him.
Full of shit, yeah.
This stuff is still coming up, still making headlines.
He's guilty, the guy.
Thank you, honey. Jesse Smollett, another piece of garbage actor. A waste of trash. And here's what just to get headlines. I mean, come on. Who stoops that low, right, folks? Here's the best news of all. I announced it yesterday, and I will announce it again. Joy Bayhardt is leaving The View. Yay! God, I can't stand her or that stupid show. And here's a quote. Here's a quote from The View. The three ladies. I don't know the four. Is it still Whoopi, Joy? I don't know the other two. But they said The View blames the unvaccinated people for the new variant. The View is blaming the unvaccinated. Ooh. All right, that's good. She's supposed to retire at the end of the year. Why don't she just leave now? Just get on her plane and do whatever on her broomstick and get out and stop destroying people, right? Unbelievable, folks. You got to love this stuff. Here's what I just found out. Hey, you know what it's time for? Ba-ba-da-da. It's time for That's Suspicious. That's right, folks. That's Suspicious. Newsweek. Newsweek. After complimenting, after Laura Logan compared Dr. Fauci to a Nazi doctor. She was no longer seen on Fox News. That's suspicious. I mean, this is the time, guys, where you'd be able to watch the news, whatever kind it is, and as a reporter, a journalist, you're supposed to tell your opinion of what you thought about the matter, good or bad. And when we were kids, we listened to these people, and this is what they did. And now it seems like these journalists can't even speak their own mind without getting in trouble. It doesn't. Why even have a reporter anymore? When your newspaper, with the company that owns your newspaper or TV station tells you what to say or what not to say. So
I think it depends on the journalist's opinion.
Right?
Yep.
Nick, I agree with you.
Absolutely.
I mean, even when you got the sports, if you watch the sports casters, they talk about the Bears. The Bears are the worst team in football. But one of the guys, well, they still got time. No, they don't. They got no time.
Not over yet.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't think there's anything wrong if you're a journalist or somebody to speak your mind. I mean, that's what at least you used to be paid for, at least. Who knows? According to another on CNN, America's productivity fell. Thank you, honey. My wife always correcting me. Thank you, honey. My wife, Laura. What am I going to do tomorrow when she's gone? I don't know what I'm going to do. America's productivity fell the staggering amount. It's getting bad since 1960. I mean, I just got to ask you something. Since you guys are family people, let's go down with Doug and Lulu. What do you think of the way the world's going right now?
Oh God.
Makes you want to get off. Get off this thing. It's not good. It's not good. I'm glad we grew up when we grew up.
Yeah, I agree. What about you, Nick? What do you think?
It's weird because when I was younger, we grew up with the threat of the Vietnam War, and it didn't seem as bad as it is now. I mean, you always had that threat that you were going to get drafted, going through grammar school and high school and everything.
Yeah.
But it seems like today, everybody has anxiety. Everybody's taking pills. Everybody's just dealing with depression and anxiety. It's so commonplace. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And what about you, Albert? Now, I don't know who the oldest is here.
In my early years of my life, it seemed like we were much less populated, less populated than we are today. And today, the population just keeps growing and growing and growing, and it's just, it's just chaos with everything. It's the way it's going. There's more so much more protesting and everything else, and so much crime and everything in the streets and stuff. Well, it's not like in the early, when I was 6, 7, 8 years, in my early years, the streets on Sunday were completely evacuated. You didn't see anybody in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Today, everybody has to go out there and hustle no matter what day of the week it is.
Yeah. Another thing that gets me, folks, and you guys know as entertainers, or even and Albert, who works for the Arcata Theater, and Ronnie put something on his post, and since everybody knows about this, someone that was belittling or was saying negative comments about some of the artists or some of the shows that they were saying. And look, I do believe this too, that, we say what we say, but when you're on social media and someone posts something, do you really need to make a real rude, bad remark about a show or an individual or a group? Some people said it wasn't the original guys. Why am I paying all this money? Someone said it was, so, I mean, isn't it now? It seems like everybody has to put a little comment in instead of just scrolling through it. And look, we're all entertainers, and we go out there. We might have a bad day or a good day or whatever it is, but I don't know. What's your take on that, Albert? You see that?
I see that all the time. And if I make comments, I only make comments like, well, there's one original guy in there or something like that. But I was thrilled to see the association, and even to meet Jules and the couple siblings that are in the band. I was thrilled. I was thrilled to meet them, and then people that I become friends on Facebook with. You know what I mean? And it's still a thrill for me. You know what I mean? Because I never met them in the '60s. I saw them from '67 through '69 at the auditorium and at the Opera House, but I never got an opportunity to ever meet them. So for me, that was a thrill. But not every band I see, but there's still those followers that say, hey, Warrant, or whoever it is, they're playing whatever. It might not be the original vocals, but still those trademarks carry the music. They keep the music alive. You know what I mean? That's the nice thing about it. So you can't really condemn what they're doing. I don't condemn them 100% for what they're doing, because they're keeping that music alive, and there's those people that still have that hunger for that.
Yeah. And
I
rather have something
right.
of a favorite band that we have instead of nothing at all. You know what I mean?
Correct.
To my opinion. What do you think on that, Nick?
I agree with that, but I mean, as far as people making comments, it's like, well, you can't censor these people and not censor those people. If you're gonna let people say what they have to say, you got to take the good with the bad. As entertainers, we got to have thick skin. I've had people comment on Facebook when somebody did a live video and talk about this guy sucks or whatever. What are you gonna do? People have opinions.
But you know what? They won't say it. These people would never think of saying that to your face.
No,
I think because of social media, people they feel they can say whatever. They can hide behind it.
Yeah.
So that's that's the bad thing about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get it either, and because we're all in the field, we understand where they're coming from and how they, look, they're trying to go out there, they're trying to make music, and when people have to belittle somebody like that, it's just pretty sad. But unfortunately, the way the world is going right now, and everybody with this, they're so anal about certain things that you can't say. Like, I'm going to go back a couple years, just a couple years. Listen to this. Now, I was doing a place called the Hyatt Hotel downtown, the big bar, which was actually 2 football fields. They say if you combine the big bar, it was like 2 or 4 football fields combined it into one. That's how big the bar was, supposedly. Anyway, a lady was celebrating a 50th wedding anniversary, and she's got 8 kids. And I said, congratulations, and great kids. And I go, wow, that's great. Why so many kids? And she goes, well, I love my children. I love children. And then I stole the line from Groucho Marx, and I said, I love my cigar, but I take it out of my mouth every now and then. Now, I think that's funny. Wait a minute. The husband thought it was funny, but the wife went off and complained to the management company.
No.
Now, this was years ago. I mean, I'm getting to the point now, guys, where you can't even say something like that.
No.
I mean, it's getting so crazy now. And do you think it's going to get better? Is things going to change? I mean, is history going to be repeated? Is history going to be erased completely?
I don't know. I mean, how far can it go? It's already ridiculous. Everybody gets offended by everything. It's ridiculous.
Doug, Lulu, you can't call them snowman anymore. A snowman is not a snow. It's got to be snow people now.
No people.
Oh my God.
Save us.
You can't make this stuff up, folks. I don't know. It's crazy as it is. Think about this now. One last story here. According to the Business Insider, this might not be a bad idea, people. They're really progressively right now trying in Congress to go make all businesses go to a 4-day work week.
I'm up for that.
Congress is considering this right now, according to Business Insider. Now, if you're working 5 days a week and you're going to go to 4 days a week, does that hurt your pay?
Maybe 10 hours a day.
Yeah, they make you work longer.
You'd have to be 10 hours a day, 4 days a week.
What? Worth it.
Yeah. So, Nick, if they told you that, would you be happy with that?
Absolutely. You kidding?
Doug,
4-day weekend, 3-day weekend.
That would be fine with me. Yeah, I'd like that.
Albert, what about you?
I feel tired.
Yeah.
I don't want to become management again.
You don't want to become manager.
That's what they did to us when they were managers, 10-hour days. I mean, when I was working in grocery stores. I mean, but I wouldn't want to go back to. I mean, if I had to work and I had to do that,
Then you would have to. Well, folks,
it's like the people. I see people working the long hours as it is sometimes. I mean, working 12,
a lot of
14
people,
hours
they
a
work
day,
hard.
that kind of stuff.
I know what you're saying.
It's rough.
It is rough. Hey, guys,
but the structure is that way. I don't know. It's just that, that's like going back to the old school a little bit too much. 10 hours a day and stuff. without no structure,
But-
no
but if
proper
you're-
structure.
But you're off. But you're off one day, so you're working 10 hours a day, and you're
Yeah.
only working 4 days a week.
Then where
still
do
have
you
Friday,
where do you
Saturday,
fit into lunch?
I don't know where you fit in the lunch.
Yeah.
That's
That's the
question.
problem. What, you have to work
Where
11
do you
hours
fit in the
or 10
lunch?
and a half
That's
hours
what
to
I
get your
wanna
lunch.
Hey guys, all right. Last thing, right? One more question. We gotta let you leave because the show is over. We got one last sponsor, folks. Of course, we're talking about Patriot Funding Incorporated. Actually, I'm sorry, we got two. Portillo's. Everybody loves Portillo's food.
Yeah.
Right? We all love it. Nonprofit organization, school board, anybody looking to raise money for a fundraiser. Here's how it works. Portillo's will you will go to their establishment. You tell them what your fundraiser is, and anything they sell over $200, you get 20% of the proceeds. If you're interested in something like that, contact our son Joe at 224-636-3646 or go to jfank@portillos.com. And then, of course, last but not least, our good buddy Dave Antonelli and Patriot Funding Incorporated. Get that money and get it now. $10,000 in 5 minutes. That's right, folks. You need that money and you need it now. Give them a call. Very simple. Self-employed goes right into your self-employed bank account. Very simple. You need a copy of your driver's license, a bank statement, and a copy of your mortgage or lease. That's right. Call Dave Antonelli at 630-675-4730, Patriot Funding Incorporated. Last question for you guys before we let you go. Don't forget, everybody, tonight will be at Donnie G's Oceans Rat Pack tonight in Elmwood Park. Tomorrow we'll be at Positano's in Oakbrook, Friday, Chicago Prime Steakhouse. Saturday, Norton's in Highland Park. And Sunday, the 106th birthday party to Frank Sinatra.
I'll be there.
The Arcada Theater downstairs with Nick Ponderelli's band. It's going to be a good cause to celebrate Frank Sinatra. All right, last one, folks. First of all, I want to thank Nick Sahajas, of course, the piano man. Go make sure you go check him out. Nick, if they want to book you, how do they find you?
Chicago's Own Piano Man. That's the website. That's the Facebook page. It's all chicagosownpianoman.com.
All right, Nikki, quick question. Who's your favorite Beatle, John, Paul, George, or Ringo?
Depending on what age I was. At the beginning, it was Ringo. Then I went through Paul for a while. I mean, I always loved John, but I'd say George, probably. I love his stuff.
Okay.
Went
Then we
too
got
soon.
ladies. That's a great answer, folks. Don't forget Doug and Lulu Sylvester, cover story and more. If they got to get a hold of you guys, how do they get a hold of you guys?
Oh, probably through Facebook, or I have my phone number, 630-699-9107. Call
right.
me.
Give her a call. Now, Lulu, who's your favorite Beatle? John, Paul, George, or Ringo?
It was John, always.
John. How about you, Doug?
For me, it was because I love melody, and it's Paul, but it's not 1, 2, 3, 4. It was Paul 1, John 1A. It's things like that, yeah.
So we'll switch off with your days, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I
that's
love Paul too.
I love John's attitude. I love John's attitude. He was funny.
John was your favorite. Okay, and that's great, and it's perfect. We can't get a wrong answer. Albert,
Right.
what do you got? Arcada Theater. What does Albert say? John, Paul, George, or Ringo?
I'll go with John, Ringo. Let's see. I think it would be John, Paul, Ringo, and George.
Very good,
or,
Albert.
Or George
and,
or Ringo. But I always liked all four of them.
Yeah.
But then they
all put their stuff in the salad.
And whoever
We're
has
leaving
the
with
song.
this one, folks. My favorite also was it was John, Ringo, George, and Paul. Those are my favorite folks. But thank you all for being on the air today, and thank you spending the extra time with us. We appreciate it, guys, so much.
Yeah, it was fun.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Cover story, and of course, Nick Sahajas, the piano man. Thank you guys so much, and you guys are always great. Happy holidays. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll have a little fun with that. And don't forget, folks, support local establishments, support live entertainment, in the great words of Sir Ringo Starr, peace and love. And we're going to take you out with my man, Nick Sahajas, who actually wrote the song and sang the song. Here's our good night, everybody. Take it away, Nikki.
Bye.
Time to go, it's the end of the show. See you later from Tony O.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Have a great one.